Imagine a virus so dangerous it can kill within days. A virus that spreads silently through communities, leaving devastation in its wake. A virus for which there is no proven cure and no licensed vaccine. This isn't the plot of a Hollywood movie. This is the chilling reality of Marburg, one of the world's deadliest diseases. Join us as we uncover the story of this terrifying pathogen, from its mysterious origins to the global effort to stop it. So, what exactly is Marburg Virus Disease? Often referred to simply as Marburg, it is a rare but extremely severe viral hemorrhagic fever. It belongs to the filovirus family, making it a close and equally dangerous relative of the Ebola virus. The impact it has on the human body is devastating and nearly identical to its infamous cousin: a sudden high fever, excruciating muscle pain, and then, in the most severe cases, internal bleeding, widespread organ failure, and shock. The name Marburg comes from the city in Germany where the virus was first identified back in 1967. The initial outbreak was a medical mystery. Laboratory workers suddenly fell gravely ill. It was later discovered that they had been exposed to the virus while handling infected African green monkeys that had been imported from Uganda for research purposes. This first encounter with the virus was a stark warning of the hidden dangers lurking in the natural world. To understand Marburg, we must ask, where does it come from? For decades, the natural reservoir of the virus remained elusive. Scientists tirelessly searched for the animal host that harbors the virus without getting sick, acting as a silent carrier. The breakthrough came when researchers identified the African fruit bat, specifically the species Russetus aegyptiacus, as the natural host. These bats live in massive colonies in caves and mines across Africa. Humans can become infected when they venture into these environments, either through direct contact with the bats or exposure to their droppings or secretions. This initial jump from animal to human is what scientists call a spillover event. Once a single person is infected, the virus can spread with terrifying speed. It transmits from person to person through direct contact with the blood, secretions, organs, or other bodily fluids of infected individuals. It can also spread through surfaces and materials, like bedding and clothing, that have been contaminated with these fluids. This makes healthcare workers, family members, and those involved in burial ceremonies particularly vulnerable during an outbreak. The onset of Marburg is typically abrupt and brutal. The first signs and symptoms can appear anywhere from 2 to 21 days after exposure. It often begins with a sudden high fever, a severe headache that feels like a vice grip, and intense muscle aches and pains all over the body. Many patients describe feeling completely drained, as if all their energy has been sapped away. Around the third day, severe watery diarrhea, abdominal pain, cramping, nausea, and vomiting can begin. This phase can last for a week, leading to extreme dehydration and weight loss. Patients at this stage are often described as having a ghost-like appearance, with deep-set eyes, expressionless faces, and extreme lethargy. The most frightening phase of the disease often begins around day 5. Many patients develop a non-itchy rash, most prominent on the trunk. In severe cases, hemorrhagic manifestations appear. Patients may begin to bleed from multiple areas from the nose, gums, and even the eyes. They might vomit blood or have it in their stool. This internal and external bleeding is caused by the virus attacking the vascular system, making blood vessels leaky and disrupting the body's ability to clot. The central nervous system can also be affected, leading to confusion, irritability, and aggression. As the illness progresses, it attacks vital organs like the liver, kidneys, and spleen, leading to multi-organ failure. In fatal cases, death most often occurs between 8 and 9 days after symptoms begin, usually preceded by severe blood loss and shock. The speed and ferocity of the disease are what make it so terrifying. Just how deadly is Marburg? The numbers are staggering. Marburg Virus Disease has one of the highest case fatality rates of any infectious disease known to humankind. Past outbreaks have seen fatality rates ranging from 24% to as high as 88%. This wide range often depends on the specific virus strain and, crucially, the quality and speed of medical care the patient receives. To put that into perspective, in the worst outbreaks, nearly 9 out of every 10 infected people did not survive. What makes this even more challenging is that there is currently no approved antiviral treatment or medicine specifically for Marburg. There is also no licensed vaccine to prevent it. Treatment is therefore limited to supportive care. This means doctors and nurses work around the clock to manage the symptoms and give the patient's body the best possible chance to fight off the virus. This includes rehydrating the patient with oral or intravenous fluids to combat the severe dehydration from vomiting and diarrhea. It involves maintaining their oxygen levels and blood pressure, treating any secondary infections that might develop, and replacing lost blood through transfusions. This intensive care requires a high level of medical infrastructure and strict infection control measures, which can be incredibly difficult to implement in the remote, under-resourced areas where outbreaks often occur. Historically, Marburg outbreaks have been sporadic but deadly, primarily occurring in sub-Saharan Africa. The virus has emerged in countries like Uganda, Angola, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kenya, and more recently, Ghana and Equatorial Guinea. Each outbreak, no matter how small, triggers immense fear and a race against time. The 2004-2005 outbreak in Angola was one of the largest and deadliest on record, with over 250 cases and a horrifying fatality rate that topped 88%. The virus tore through communities, overwhelming local health systems. Responders faced the monumental task of tracing contacts, isolating sick patients, and safely burying the deceased, all while battling fear and misinformation within the affected populations. Once Marburg enters a community, controlling its spread becomes a complex public health emergency. It requires rapid diagnosis, patient isolation, diligent contact tracing, and community engagement. Every minute counts. A delay of even a few days can allow the virus to spread further, igniting a chain reaction that becomes exponentially harder to stop. Given the absence of a cure or vaccine, our most powerful weapon against Marburg is prevention. The first and most crucial step is to avoid the source, fruit bats, and the caves or mines where they roost. Public health campaigns in at-risk regions often focus on educating communities about the dangers of entering these areas and handling wild animals. Secondly, during an outbreak, avoiding direct physical contact with anyone showing symptoms of the disease is paramount. This is incredibly difficult on a human level, as it means families cannot care for their sick loved ones in the traditional way. Healthcare workers must adhere to strict infection control protocols, wearing full personal protective equipment or PPE, which includes masks, gloves, gowns, and eye protection. Safe burial practices are also essential, as the bodies of those who have died from Marburg remain highly infectious. This often involves specialized burial teams who can handle the deceased safely, a practice that can conflict with local cultural and religious customs, requiring sensitive community dialogue. Ultimately, raising awareness is key. When people understand how the virus spreads and what they can do to protect themselves and their families, they become the front line of defense. In the face of such a formidable foe, it's easy to feel a sense of despair, but there is hope. Marburg is designated as a priority disease by the World Health Organization, meaning it is on a short list of pathogens that pose a significant public health risk and require accelerated research and development. Around the globe, brilliant and dedicated scientists, doctors, and public health experts are working day and night. Their mission, to develop effective treatments and, most importantly, a vaccine. Several vaccine candidates are currently in various stages of development and clinical trials. Each outbreak, while tragic, provides invaluable data that helps researchers understand the virus better and test the effectiveness of these potential countermeasures. The global community is more prepared than ever before, with rapid response teams ready to be deployed to help control outbreaks wherever they emerge. The journey is long and filled with challenges, but the goal is clear. Humanity has faced down and defeated many deadly diseases throughout its history, from smallpox to polio. With continued scientific innovation, international cooperation, and unwavering resolve, we believe that one day Marburg will be added to that list. It will become a disease of the past. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of science and health. Stay curious and stay safe.